Yo, welcome to Darlington. We are at Northgate, and this is the Salvation Army building. I'm going to take you inside without getting run over. Chrissy cross. Hey, look, it's Eric. Right. Bloody noisy out there, so we'll just go.
Contract thing, special birthday.
Yeah, that was someone we knew, not a randomer. There you go. Okay, so finally showing you a project we've been working on for a good few months, and this is the Northgate building. We're going to call it the Northgate building for the purposes of YouTube, and it's in Darlington, bang in central Darlington. Literally 2-minute walk that way, and you're in the town centre, and a train station, and then a 5-minute walk that way is another train station. Really good location. We got it for a really good price. It's gone through to planning. We've just finished about 2.5 hours, well 3 hours with letting agents, contractor, architect, going through everything. And there's quite a few more stages to go until planning can be passed, until we can have a full tender. But this is a big project. It is 18 apartments is the proposed scheme, albeit we get planning. But we're confident we'll get planning. We've engaged planning consultants on this one. But that's all the boring stuff. We'll talk about that in another video. But for now, I'm just going to walk you through the existing building and show you what our rough plan is. Well, it's not rough at all. We've got exact building reg plans, but you'll get to see it roughly because I'm not going to show you the plans right now. So that's the front entrance. This will be one main entrance that will service 2 flats. There will be a 2-bed flat that side and a 3-bed flat that side. At the moment, the building consists of a lot of stud partitioning, which is pretty much everywhere. There's only a few structural walls like these. So what we'll end up doing, initially the first stage will be strip out, gut everything, and this will transform. This will all be open plan. It will just be left with the structural walls. The floors will all be ripped up, ceilings all come down. It's going to drastically different, and we'll do a good before and after shot, I'm sure, when it comes to it. But just know that for now, that'll be an apartment, that'll be an apartment. There's 2 turrets on either side, as you saw from the outside shot. One of them will be a part of this apartment. The other one will be stairs servicing an upper flat. And then you come through here. There's a lot of these bloody security doors for some reason, for a building that's got nothing to secure. You come through here, and then this will then be another centralised corridor where you have flats on this side and flats on that side. And you can see the width of the building here. So there's loads of these rooms. It's like a maze throughout here. It's all stud partitioning. So this is the edge of the property, and the boundary is that wall you can see there. There's a little gully and some stairs and a little garden that goes down. And the width of the property goes all the way through, beyond that room, beyond that wall there. It goes another maybe 2-3 meters beyond that wall. And then you can see the length nearly. You see all the way to the front door through there, and then you can see all the way to the back window. So we can get 18 apartments in this. It's about 5 apartments per floor, roughly, split across 4 floors. So yeah, we'll have a centralised corridor here that will work its way round to another stair core that's there. But just to give you an idea of the view, there's existing kitchens and other things, but everything in this building is stud partitioning. A nice view onto a trading estate. That's the Frade. There is no parking for this property, but there are loading bays. So we're going to see if we can barter with the council and get at least 2 spaces. And then there's an NCP over the road, which is normally quite empty. So we reckon we can get a lease agreement with them for at least 10 spaces. And maybe 18 if we need it. Again, something we need to iron out. On a project this size, there's so many variables. You can't plan for everything. You have to just take it in different stages. But yeah, that's pretty much this floor. And every floor, I won't lie to you, is very much the same. It's just not much to look at, but a lot of different stud walls. We'll go up to the top floor first, and then finish on the ground. You see through there, there's another side entrance. And that entrance will come through here to service this half of the property and the ground floor and the first floor, and then eventually leading to the loft conversion. There's a lift, but it's not in use. We're not going to use it because it just costs a lot. There's no point in spending the money on it and then having to maintain it over time, when really for tenants they're only going to have to at any given point go up 1 or 2 flights of stairs maximum. So it shouldn't be necessary. And when you're doing private developments as well, because it's not with a local authority, you don't need a lift. It's not compulsory. You can choose. But we choose no. You come through here, and you can see it's on these different mezzanine levels, which is bloody annoying. from an architectural standpoint, and it's something we spent a lot of time on today. And you'll see why in a minute when I take you around the other side. But obviously, it means that internally within each flat, this is actually going to be in the middle of a flat, this stairway. And we're going to have bedroom, kitchen up there, and it comes down to another bedroom down here, an ensuite. So obviously you've had to incorporate these different levels around the property. We've had to change a few levels. We're gonna have to add another stairway, another section. So there's a lot of things to incorporate because we're repurposing an existing building. And what a beautiful building to repurpose. And it makes me really happy that we're doing so rather than, knock it down. This is one of the turrets. We can't get in there, but that's one of the turrets, which again, you can see from the outside. And then just to give you an idea, it's just a lot of this shit. Loads of studs. Because originally, I haven't actually told you what this was. This is a Salvation Army building for drug rehabilitation. So it's full of consultation rooms, it's full of little kitchens, little events rooms and things like that. All over the place, storage rooms, everywhere. Hence all the partitioning. But originally it was a big hall back in the 1900s when it was first built. I think in 1887 it was built. And you can see through there. But for some reason, all of these are locked. But yeah, again, this will be 2 apartments, and there'll be an extension on the side. And then right here, this will be stairs that start from there and go all the way to the loft. So the loft will punch through there, and that will be for 4 apartments up there. Here's another one of the problems we had to go through today. These sills are quite high up. You see how high up they are, and obviously they work. You can still see out of them. But we wonder either whether to drop the sills, which we've not put through planning, so we don't want to do that, or raise the floors a tiny bit. And we reckon we could raise them cost effectively by maybe 12 inches or so, maybe a foot. Then that will be that bit more you need for it to feel like a really habitable space. But there's no compliance that stops us from doing it as it is, but we want to make these good offerings on the market. So more things to consider. Now, the more problematic room, which you're about to see, if you can notice, this floor goes up here, and it goes up because there's the ground floor at the front of the property on the high street is obviously at one level, and the lower ground floor falls down the back of a hill. So the whole property kind of follows in that same motion, and it means that the ceilings, as you can see, drop down, and the floors drop down. But the problem is at the front. For some reason, they've boarded off 2 of the windows and left some of the windows very, very high up because it used to be a big hall. It used to be one big hall, and then they've added all of these partitions, repurposed it as like a drug clinic, and then added all of that boarding, which has covered up the windows that are behind here. So there's a lot of unknowns, and we need structural engineering to give us a good survey of the building. We need M&E surveys, we need the works, we need electrical surveys and designs. So we're a long way off from being able to start refurbishment. But we've done a hell of a lot of the work so far. And I've not wanted to show you this one yet until I knew we were at a good place. And now we are. Now we've got everything locked in. It's just getting the last surveys and checks done. And then obviously getting planning permission. Fun one for you. Lifeline. Started 2009 at Beaumont Street. How was that? That's our name. That is our name. Have I? I've got them. Thought I lost those keys. I've got them. Don't worry. We're all good. Okay. Again, all of this is coming out. It's all stud. We don't need to keep walking around every room, but you get the point. It's a big building. When it's stripped out, just imagine this as one empty canvas with just the structural walls remain, and obviously all the floor joists and things like that. But
what's the benefit of just getting rid of all these rooms?
A lot really. Obviously the existing layout isn't sufficient for apartments. There's a lot of rooms without windows and habitable spaces, so obviously we need to strip out loads of it anyway, just to get the fundamental layout for the apartments. And then beyond that, we're gonna have to re-insulate them all anyway, and a whole load of different things that we're gonna have to do to treat the walls. And if we tried to protect and retain as many walls as we could, sure, if we really went through the efforts of it, we could maybe save a little bit of money, but probably cause more problems than it's worth. So we're actually better off just knocking out all the studs and doing it again with just MF studs. We're coming down now to the lower ground floor. So, lower ground floor, we're gonna have bin store through there. This will be post room. we think. Might put it towards the front, but this will be post room, bin storage, back exit, and entrance for this lower ground floor. This is going to be the plant room as far as the plans are concerned. That may change once M&E have consulted, and M&E is mechanical and electrical installations. We have this dead space at the back of the property because all the way along there is just the earth, because we're on the lower ground at the moment. The high street is above where we entered the property. So that's all just one big wall, and this is one big wall with another building. So we can't get windows along those sides, which means no habitable spaces can be put here really, and there's no point in having a massive long kitchen for anyone. So what we're going to do is turn that into, initially we thought about a games room, but actually a gym would be a good offering. Not many apartment blocks are providing that in Darlington, so we're going to offer a gym space at that back corner. We need to then have ample ventilation for the airflow, which we need to design, again, M&E, and accessible from all the apartments down through the stair core. And then we'll have different security fobs, key codes or keys to get to each floor so that tenants can't just walk through different apartment circulation areas. And then this is all not getting knocked out, and you'll have an apartment with a kitchen diner here, quite dark. Nice. So these windows face the rear of the property, and this will be kitchen diner, bedroom, and then this wall is going to get shoved back quite some way to allow for the ensuite, cloakroom, and then inner area of this apartment. And we're going to have 4 one-bed apartments on this ground floor. We might flash up the drawings just to show you what it really looks like. But these apartments will essentially run back from those windows I showed you to about here, and then that will be a hallway space, because this here is load bearing, and these are stud. So this will be a hallway servicing all of these apartments. So you can see how much is going to have to change and get moved around. And then show you this last bit. So you can see how far back the lower ground floor goes. And this again will be stairs up into a 1-bed apartment, and we're gonna break out the window. So there's a nice big window here that will look out onto not very much. So that'll be good. And then gym behind there. And then I'll take you around to the back to show you what the back looks like. But you get the idea of the property and its existing layout. Hopefully. You probably have fuck all idea what I'm talking about, but there's actually, you can see. And yes, there are kitchens here, and the cabinets are not in bad condition. Well, we're not keeping any of it. We're getting rid of all of it. We might be able to actually flog some of it so that we can save some money on the strip out. Most of it will go. Annoying as well, because all of these are fire doors, commercial grade fire doors, so annoying we're having to get rid of them all. We may keep some. Again, something we need to look at. Aha. And now you come out the back. If you come around me, you can have a look up at the building. And this is the rear of the property. You can see it's split across these 3 levels. The lower ground floor and the first floor. And then above that, we're going to do the loft conversion for 4 apartments. And just up here, we have put in to get permission to do an extension so that we can get another room in for a 2-bed flat. We're gonna see on that one. It may not be worth doing, but it's worth trying to go for as much as we can through planning within reason, and then retracting it once we've got approval, rather than the other way around. This we're gonna have to get permission for to be our access for materials and deliveries and things like that for the contractors. So we need to speak about that with the council. We're gonna get a principal designer on this one as well, who we're engaging soon. So a lot of things to figure out, but there's just so many variables you can't figure out all out in one go. And with a project of this size, sure, if you've got a massive team, maybe you could, but we got a Mac Pro and some balls. I'm really excited about this scheme. It's been in the works for a long time. Been excited to show you. I frankly, beyond anything, I love the building. I just love the look of it. I love the fact that we own it, and that it's going to be a brilliant project and provide good housing for a cool town. I like Darlington. It's got some charm about it. But subscribe if you like this content. Expect in the next few months update videos on this one. We won't start works likely till December, January. Hamilton. We won't start works till December, January, so it's going to be a little while till we have anything material to show you. But nonetheless, it's going to be a great project, and I hope you stick with me on this one. Have a check out of each update video. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you got any ideas for what we could do, yeah, drop a comment, drop a like, and mate, just enjoy yourselves, man. Be happy, be young, be wild, be free. Snoop Dogg.